everyone, welcome to Naomi's Bookshelf. We are going to go over some goals for 2024. Last year I sent tentative goals, which I forgot shortly after and didn't keep. At least I don't think I kept them. I'm not going to go back because I'm positive I did not get any of them right. So what can you do? I'm going to just ignore this past year and I'm going to treat it like it was a break year. I needed it's kind of like a sabbatical year. And I know I still read like 250 books. So I'm not saying I didn't read a lot. But what happened in the past year was really just me reading what I wanted to read and recovering in a lot of ways from emotional stress or work stress, things that were going on health-wise, whatever else. It was just me taking care of me and enjoying reading as a factor of that, not being my sole purpose. So I'm excited to go over some goals for the upcoming year. I think this upcoming year I want to be kind of more intentional, but I'm not sure what that means because I have found that due to a lot of stressors, reading becomes more of a stress than a reward thing or something that I want to do. And I guess sorry about the cough, I work in childcare. But one of the first things that I want to do for the upcoming year is really prioritize the fun in reading. I feel like so often with reading, I feel very goal-oriented, and that's a wonderful thing. But when it becomes only the goals, that's a problem because that means I am so driven to read, but that means I'm not enjoying it anymore and it's not something that's fun for me. So I wanted to set a couple goals that will help me progress in certain areas, but also some goals that will help it be fun. Now, one of the things I do want to do is get down my physical TBR. And I know a lot of people say this. I am going to try to do something. I don't know how it's going to look, but last year or this current year that I'm in, 2023, I did this buying restriction essentially where I had to read 2 physical books. So if I read book 1 and book 2 from my shelves, or whether that was a library copy of a physical book I owned, if I read 2 of them, I could buy 1 book to replace that spot. So basically 2 out, 1 in for new books that I wanted to read. And so a lot of those books I kept because I wanted to read them again or got rid of because I didn't want to. And that was really successful. But I noticed that but because of that, I noticed that I really prioritized what books I was buying. And it really impacted the books I purchased because I was like, do I really want to own that? Is it worth me using up that giveaway, that amount of books I've read because of this? There were only a couple times in 2023 where I binge bought books. One was the library book sale and was my birthday sale at Indigo. So I definitely took advantage of those 2 times, but I really didn't binge buy at all. And I think that's because of this situation where I had it. So I'm going to continue it. I feel like it really helps me not motivate, but it helps me prioritize books I want to own. And a part of those rules that really worked for me was if I read a book from the library or got an arc of it and I read that in advance and then I wanted to purchase it, that was allowed. It's not part of that because it's already a read book. It's only books I have not yet read that I will be doing this for. So yeah, I'm going to be doing that. That's part of my goal is to keep that and to keep that in my mind as I read books that I own, but also buy books that I am aware of what I'm buying and if it's really worth putting on my shelves. Another thing I want to do is get my owned TBR down to 25% of my books I own. Now that is a very high goal. It's a very intense goal that I don't know if I can do it. But basically, when I did my bookshelf tour, I think that was September, I think I did it. I'll link it for you if you want to check out all of my bookshelves at that point. But when I did that, I counted and I had about 50% of the books I owned I had not read, which is a pretty good percentage. Actually, it was just about like 49% that I hadn't read. And that's a good percentage because I own over 1,000 books. So a lot of the books I own, I have read. But I want to change that. I want to make it more books I have read than books I have not read. So maybe I'll just drop it by like 20%. So if I can get down to 30% books I haven't read, I'll be pretty happy. I don't know if I have the time to film it because my parents are back in Canada now, so they are living with me again, which does put a damper on filming times, and I'm not upset about that at all. It just does make a difference. But I'm planning on filming a complete unread shelf tour. So all the books I own that are not read, I would love to get your recommendations, which books I should prioritize, all that kind of stuff. And through that, I should hopefully show you how many I have left. And then we'll get from there to 30% in the upcoming year. Whether that is by reading those books, by unhauling those books, I don't care. I just want to get down to 30%. And I have been going through a book, like declutter essentially, or book unhaul, where I'm just looking at my shelves and being like, I want to get rid of that and get rid of that and get rid of that. And I have been. So I'm probably already down a bit, but we're going to go down to 30% of books I owned that I have not read. That's my goal, and I hope I can do it. Another goal that I would like to do for the upcoming year is to reread at least one book a month. I think this is going to be an easy goal in some regards, but in other regards, it's going to be harder. See, I don't want to reread Agatha Christie's as that one book because I will be doing that. But I don't want that to be the only reread. I want to reread the books I've owned. Because like I said, I own over 500 books that I have read before. And a lot of those books are because I want to reread them. So if I don't reread them, what's the point in me owning them? So I'm going to be prioritizing rereads in the upcoming year. At least one of these extra books will hopefully be on my TBR. I will plan on reading it again and just enjoying an old favorite. That would be wonderful. And even revisiting some of these books that I have read long ago and really loved, but I haven't read in like 5 years. It'd be awesome to go back and reread. Sorry. It'd be awesome to go back and reread and see what it's like now and what my new or 2024 self thinks of that. So I'm interested in rereading for that reason. Another thing with that is I don't want to reread Agatha Christie as that one thing because I will be doing the Read Christie 2023 challenge. Or 2024 challenge, I should say. I will also be doing the Golden Girls reading challenge, the Buzzwordathon. I'll be doing all of those again. And if the Book Covered Book Club comes out with another list of prompts, I'll be doing that one as well. I'm enjoying those prompts and I'm enjoying the flexibility I have in them. I don't know if I will do any other ones. I'm hopeful, but I honestly don't know myself. I know I'm going to overwhelm myself. So I don't want to do that. So those things are important to me and I will hopefully continue to do them like I have been doing so far. Another goal that's going to be difficult for 2024, I already know, is I want to read all my book club books. I used to be so good at reading my book club books. I used to be really on top of them. I would read them whether I loved them, hated them, whatever. Like our book club has a scale of best to worst books, and the worst book that everyone will say in our book club was the worst book I have read. Everyone else did not read it. I did not finish it. I finished it. No one else did. But yet the last year, I think I have read like 3 of the 12 books, or 11 books, however many. And I've really not prioritized finishing book club books. And so this year I'm going to do that. I really want to prioritize that, even though it might be really difficult. I would like to try at the very least. I'm going to give myself like at least 100 pages. Normally I'm like, I am a quick DNFer. I will DNF after 10 pages, 5 pages if I'm really not liking it. But I want to give each book, for at least book club, 100 pages. And that's a goal because I do really need that accountability. So yeah, that's that. Another thing that I would like to do is recreate an author jar. I want to make another one of those. That will take a bit more time, a bit more effort. And like I said, filming wise, it's not super easy right now. But I would like to do an author jar situation again. I felt like it really pushed me and challenged me to read outside my comfort zone and to test out authors that I might not have tried otherwise. So I'm gonna have to make one of those soon. And then I'm gonna do TBR Clue as per usual. And then in the upcoming year, I'm hoping to, I don't know, challenge myself in regards to community. I feel like often I struggle to be mentally in the headspace to leave comments, and I want to get better about that because I do watch BookTube, but watching and commenting can be really hard mentally for me. I don't know, something about it. It just makes my brain want to turn off, or when I'm watching YouTube, at least, I want to turn off my brain and just enjoy the content I'm watching. So I'm going to try to get better about commenting, and even if that's just an emoji or something, just so I can encourage and support someone else in the BookTube community. That's my goal. I'm going to see if I can do it. Another low-key goal, I'm going to say, and this is kind of low-key, but it's also kind of not, is audiobooks. I have not been listening to many books lately, and I don't know why. I have stopped loving audiobooks. I want to get back into it, especially since I have taken on crafting. I have taught myself how to crochet in the last few months, or last couple months actually. Let's call it what it is, okay? The last 4 weeks, I've taught myself to crochet. And I have been crocheting, and that's something I really want to do while listening to audiobooks and just enjoying my time with that. So I'm going to try. We'll see. Another goal that I've been toying with and I'm kind of scared to commit to, but I'm going to say it out loud. I'm just going to do it. I want to do timeless tomes again. The scary part of that is I would have to commit to finishing a big book. And a lot of the books I have been reading lately have been smaller. They're not big. They're not over 500 pages. And I think that might have to be what it is. It might not be timeless tomes. It might be timeless books, like classics. I'm not sure. But I am wanting to spend time reading and reviewing, especially these books that are well known for whatever reason, and just reviewing them for the sake of sharing my thoughts and sharing my opinions, because sometimes my opinions are controversial, sometimes they're not. But it's interesting to have those thoughts and have that discussion in a video, a spoilery, open video about a classic and its works and how I agree or disagree with it. So I want to bring back that kind of idea, maybe not the tomes aspect, but I will be doing something along those lines. I'm gonna commit to doing it. I will do it because I think it's something that I have been lacking in my life. And it's even just the commitment to finish a book, because I think I finished one book that I wanted enough in the whole of 2023, which was Bleak House, because I was doing it for read along. So yeah, we are doing the read along again for the upcoming year, and we're doing the Tale of Genji, I believe is how you pronounce that. So we'll be doing that one in the upcoming summer, and that will be fun. I'm hoping it will be a really great time, but we'll see. Another really hard goal is this is going to be a challenge and a half, is to have 50% of my read books throughout the year be nonfiction. I'm already planning on failing this. I'm not planning on failing. I'm already seeing myself fail this, but I really want to have a high goal so I can accomplish it. I love nonfiction. Nonfiction is something that brings me joy. It breathes life into me. And honestly, when I get downhearted or I feel tired and weary of, historical fiction or classics sometimes, like I do love classics, but when they're, there's the same old, like anti-woman stuff or whatever, I'm just throwing out things here. But nonfiction breathes life into me. I love reading nonfiction and changing things up and reading something that I don't know about and learning something new. That is fabulous for me. It is an incredibly motivating part of my reading life, and I don't do it enough. So I will be trying to read 50% nonfiction in the course of, actually, let's lower that. No, let's aim for 50 instead of lowering it and try my hardest, because I do think I will really enjoy it if I put the effort in. And I'm not going to just read one type of nonfiction. I want to read multiple kinds. I want to be enjoying what I'm reading and learning about and seeing it as. I think my nonfiction shelves are very heavy of to-be-read books. And I'd like to get that number down, because that means that they need to be read so I can enjoy them. Another thing that I do want to be prioritizing in my reading for the upcoming year are my arcs. I have requested several arcs, And I have read several arcs, but I have not reposted my reviews of them, which is a problem. So I need to be prioritizing reviewing my arcs as well as reading them in time for publication. So that does mean I will have to make sure that those are on my TBR, as well as a reread, as well as nonfiction. All of this variety is important to my reading success, I believe, in 2024. The last thing is that I would really like to reread some childhood favorites. Some things that I have really enjoyed. Like I reread Chronicles of Narnia and I loved that. I have a book called Mad About Madeline, which is about the 12 little girls in Paris. I want to read that whole book because I grew up on that. It was phenomenal. So I really want to prioritize the books I read as a child, enjoying those ones again and seeing what they're like as an adult and through an adult's lens. So that will be interesting to see. So yeah, there's also some goals. I don't know if I have any more. Honestly, I kind of have just been stewing on my goals and what I want to accomplish. And I really just want to enjoy what I'm reading, learn through my reading, and enjoy the time that I'm spending in other areas as well. So if I'm crocheting, I don't need to be reading all the time. If I am reading, I don't need to worry about the crocheting. I do have a big project that I'm working on, and I can't say anything more because someone who might watch my channel might be getting a gift from me. So I'm not going to say anymore. But I do have goals on that regard, or deadlines. So I am hopeful that I can make the reading fun again and interesting, and I can just do it for the sake of it, as opposed to feeling forced into it. Please let me know in the comments some of your goals. What are you planning on doing for your reading? Is there anything you're planning on implementing? I'd love to know in the comments. Thank you so much for watching. If you would also like to give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and subscribe if you are new here, that would be incredible. I will see you next time. Bye for now.
In a house that I don't know,